Hello guys and welcome back to day 5 of my 100 days of code series. I apologise that this one is going up very late. It's because yesterday when I recorded this originally, I wasn't feeling very well. The video wasn't so good and everything else just wasn't going to plan. I got stuck on one point and I was like, I can't even think of how to fix it, but I've come back today. I've realised what I did wrong and we're going to start again, and we're going to be using ES6 to create a sort of shopping list style app. The reason I'm doing another sort of to-do app / shopping list app is because the main focus isn't on the actual app itself, it's on the ES6 side of things. So let's get straight into it. I want to go straight into it. Okay, so right now this is our HTML. We have a few little things in here, so just a wrapper with a form, and then the list, and these are the list items in there. We have our style sheet link and everything else. So standard boilerplate, which Emmett creates for us as well. And this is what we're seeing so far. So we've got this. We have the shopping list form sort of element here, so we can add stuff by going add and plus, although it doesn't work yet. We need to set that up. So this is just an input, a text input, and a button which we'll hook up later on. We have these two dummy stuff which we've put in, but we will sort those later, so we'll remove those later and make dynamic content. And then, just so people know, that thing was just open this to developer console. If you press on a Mac, Command-Alt-I, it opens this up and you can inspect the console. So if you get any JavaScript out or you want to log anything, it goes in there. And elements are all in here, so you can inspect each element. I apologise that I didn't show you that on like the first day one of this, because that was pretty smart to do. Although no one has asked for it, and I'm guessing most people know what they're doing by now if they're coming straight to JavaScript and because obviously this isn't a HTML and CSS, of course. Anyway, let's crack on. So we also have Sass. Again, I'm not going to go through it. I'm just going to quickly go through this bit, but it'll all be on GitHub. So if you want to actually go and see it, you can. So we've got a disabled. So we actually have this item name is one thing I need to explain. So we have item name, and in the item name it is here. So this is an input. So this actual text here is actually an input field, but it's disabled, and I've styled it up a little bit so it doesn't look like one. But when we're going to hook it up, so when we click update, let me just remove the disabled. When we hit update, you see it goes green and it's now editable. So that is how we're going to work the update. I thought that was pretty smart. It's kind of, I feel like that's kind of sappy. I haven't seen anyone else do something like that, but there are probably many tutorials of people doing that. That's probably actually how oh my god, now I think about it, that's probably how everyone does their edit stuff. See, I had a thing before where my edit thing would be a hidden input field, so when I clicked update, this would hide and an input field would show and then I'd edit it, but then I thought, why not just use the input field to display the text too? It's like a new level of code. I've broke the power level. I'm now a Super Saiyan. I mean, wait, what? What are we on about? This isn't the video for that. Let's crack on. So I'm going to hide these list items straight away. We don't need them there. So there we go. So now I'm going to close this CSS2. So now in the main JS, so we're going for ES6 syntax. So there's a few things we need to reference here. So we need to get the item to add. So we're going to go const item to add is equal to document.get element by ID and then item to add. And the reason we're using const is because this element doesn't need to be changed. We don't have to change this variable anytime. We don't need to go, let's say, item to add equal to a string or whatever later on. It doesn't need to be changed. We need that to stay. So const basically means it's constant. You can't change it. So if I did go down here and go item to add is equal to something else, it wouldn't work. It'll error because it's a constant and that can't be done. Next up, we have the button. So we've got to get this button equal to document.getElement by ID and boom, add button. So that is that sorted, and now we need the list too. So const item list is equal to document.getElement by ID and list. There we go. So that is all sorted. So first thing, what we need to do first is actually add elements to the DOM. And but for starters, we're actually going to create something in ES6 called a class, and we're going to go class, and then we give it a name. So this is how you write it. So it's class and a name. So we're going to call this item, and then brace this like that. So this just stands for class, item, and that. And now in here we need to create something called a constructor. And basically what this does is allow us to, when you call this item, so to call this item it's new, so you would do something like this, let item equal new item, like that, and that's how you call it. Every time you call this, what's inside here will run first. So you can also give it some things to pass. So we're going to say item name, because we're going to need that. So now we would pass in here item 1, for example, and then in here we could just log, just so we can see it, item name. And now we've done that, this should be logged. This should be logged. It hasn't logged. Why hasn't it logged? Oh, because we set it to a variable, I believe, right? What have I done wrong? Why is that not working? Why is my brain not working? Constructor. I have spelled constructor right. Constructor. That's a method. No, is it a method? I don't know what it should be called. It's definitely a double underscore. Okay, by the way, this is going to be raw and edited footage as well. So wherever I've made a mistake here, you guys will see it. So why is that if we... It is referenced. There is something there. Okay, let's quickly go JavaScript class constructor. Let's have a look. What have I done wrong? I feel like I've done nothing wrong and something's just not right somewhere else. Oh, it doesn't need a double underscore. I feel like an idiot now. I'm sorry, guys. You guys knew that as well. I know you knew that, and I'm sorry. The reason there's something where it needs a double underscore, or maybe that's for something custom. I think that's when it gets compiled down. Sorry, I'm thinking of how Babel works. So now, as you can see, anyway, back to it. It's displayed item 1, what we passed through there, because this is coming through. So that's what the constructor does, and you can do this multiple times. So we can go like that, and then we can actually say add to our list milk, and see we get item 1 and milk when it loads. Okay, let's crack straight on and get onto it. So something else we want to do, we can use this inside here to create so it references the item, so we can do item dot whatever and it will bring it up. So if we go name is equal to item name, so that is the item name, and that is as simple as that. So this dot name is equal to item name. So now we can use this dot name anywhere to reference the item name from here, from the constructor. And now if we go down here and we go, what do we want to create? So we need a create method. So this method is going to create the element, and then we're going to get something. I think we'll do the display inside the create as well. So we, as you can see, this is what an item is. We need to create a diff. So if we go, what have we called it? List item lm, or list item is equal to God, I don't list item. We'll do list item is equal to document.create element, and then we're going to say diff. So we want to create a diff here because that's why it's here. So we'll create a diff, and then we're going to list item dot class list dot add, and then it is list item. So as you can see, basically all this does is add a class using the add method. You can also, just for reference in the future, you can remove classes from items, you can toggle classes. So if you've got this in a button, if it's on there, it'll remove it. If it's off there, it'll add it, just so you know what that does. That is an ES6, by the way. That is just normal syntax. Okay, so list item, list item.class, list.add, list item. So that item is now created. We need to create the next one, which is inside here, which is the input, which is item name. So now we're going to say let input equal document.get create.create element, and we're going to say input, and we're going to say input.class list.add, and what classes do we have on here? It's just item name. So that is the item name. We're also going to set a type of text, so input.type is equal to text. And we're actually going to bring this above that because we're going to keep it in the same order what is on here. And then we're going to say input.value is equal to this.name. So that sets the name for that. So it'll take whatever we pass through here and pull it in here. And then disabled. So yes, we need to go input.disabled is equal to true. So that will disable the element for us. So that's all set up. So now that'll be exactly how it is here. And next up, we want to create this item action. So we're going to say let actions equal document.create element, and we're going to say diff because it is a diff with a actions.class list.add, and it is item actions. Okay, so we created the action items, and then that is it. That's that one sorted. Now we need to create two other things. One called update button and the other one called remove button. So now we want to say let update button. I'm going to say it like that. Equal document dot. I can never. Document is like the enemy of me. Dot create element. And it is a diff. I don't know why. Oh no, isn't it? It's a button. And then we're going to say update button dot class list dot add, and then this will say update. And that is it for that. Oh, and then we need to update button dot inner text is equal to update. So that is that one done. Now we need to go let remove button. Oh, what we're doing equals to document dot create element, and it's also going to be a button. And we're going to say remove button dot class list dot add, and it's going to be remove. And remove button dot inner text is equal to remove. So now, as you can see here, we've created all the elements, but the problem is these won't display on screen when we create something new. So if we call it a test, that's going to do nothing because we're not actually doing anything. We're just saying this is the item. We need to actually call create as well because we're not calling it anyway. So in here we'll go this.create. So this says this item use the method of create. By the way, so when I say method, I refer to something inside a class. So a function inside a class is normally called a method. As you see, a method, and then that is a constructor because that is a what do you call it? That is a placeholder word. That is a there is a word for items that you can't, like, it's a words constructor which is already used to do something in a function. That's what that is. Or in anything. But anyway, let's continue. So we need to actually now append all this to the page. Now we need to go list item dot, no, so we'll start from the bottom. We'll go actions. It's the first parent we need to do. So we need to go actions dot append child, and we're going to say update button. I don't know if we can use this like an array and append more than one. Remove button. I want to see if that works. Test. Oh, what happened? We don't know. I'm guessing it would. There was no error. We'll try that. We'll see what happens. Just go hardly wrong. If you guys probably already know that's not going to work, but I don't, so I'm going to try it. So now action, so this now has these two in there, hopefully. We might need to update it to do it twice. Input, so we need to append our input to the list item. So we've got to go list item.append child. It's going to be input, and then, oh, an input and then actions. I'm hoping that works, because that is basically that done in less lines. And now we need to go list item.append child. You know what? I've just, is that? Yeah, so when I've been hitting this button saying, oh, there's no error, it's because I haven't hooked up the button yet. So there probably might be an error. Oh, and we don't need a list item. We need to actually now get the item list. Oh wow, I've just realised these are just the words backwards. So this is an item list and this is a list item. Whoops. Someone said it's really hard to follow when the classes and like the naming of everything is similar, and I apologise because it is still going to be similar because I ain't creative and it's hard to make name. Name's hard. Name is the hardest thing in code, without a doubt. So that is that done. Now we actually need to add the event listener underneath this item, because classes, they're not like functions. You can't call the item up here. If we went new item, it would error because item is not defined. So we have to do new item down here. So now we're going to create a function called, so we're going to say, well, not a function, we're going to get the add button. We're going to say add button dot add event listener of click. We're going to go function, oh no, we're going to use an arrow function, which is ES6. And then we're going to call a method called what should we call it? New item. Yes, no, maybe new item. I believe that should work fine. No, we need to call it. I don't know why I didn't call it. And now we'll go in here, we'll go function new item. It's going to be here, and it's going to go if, and now we need to get the item to add. So we've got to check now item to add dot, or item to add dot value is equal to, if it's not equal to nothing, then we will go new item, which would be equal to item.add value, so that there dot value, and that should literally be it. That's all we need to do there. So now it should work. I'm just trying to make sure it's gonna work before I do it, because again this is going to be really limited to my editing because I am running low on time, considering it's almost the next day and it's supposed to go out today. So we're gonna say milk. Ah, my buttons didn't get added. Did I? Yeah, I don't think you can double up. I think it's singular. That sucks. But that got added. No, yeah, it's just one. Okay, well, we'll do it one at a time. So we're going to say milk, and we're going to go pout, and there we go, our buttons are in. So they are sorted. Got update and remove, and then the name of our thing here. So that is how we've added. There you go. That is one step down. Next step. So we've got to create. Next, we need to be able to update. So we're going to create a method in here called update, and in here, no, we don't need to pass any, or do we need to pass anything? We might need to pass the input through, but we'll figure that out in a minute once we actually get going. So now we need to, in here, so we need to see we've created the button. We now need to add an event listener. It's called update button dot add event listener, and it's going to be click, and it's going to be another arrow function, and this one's going to say this dot update. I need to call it. So that is good. So now that calls a separate the method, and now we're gonna, so in here, so now we need to update. So if we go milk quickly, add an item. When we click update, we need to undisable this so we can edit it, and then when we click update again, we need to redisable it. So in here, we're gonna go, what do we do? So should we create a is editable? So we need to toggle the disable. We could turn disabled into a class instead of a, so if we change that to a class, I don't know why I'm swapping this out, we can actually just do a toggle, and that will do it instantly for us. So in the CSS where I've got disabled, we're we'll say add dot disabled. So now, but we also need to go pointer. How do you stop? So how would you I know there is a thing where we can say, we will keep it as disabled for now, just because I don't want to have to keep Googling things, because that's what I have to do sometimes. And that's okay. It's okay to Google things. Everyone gets stuck now and again. So now we need to go in here anyway. So we actually do need to pass the input through here, and we're going to call this input as well. So we're passing through our input item, so we can then toggle it. So we can go, so we're going to say if item, that's now spell item, or input, sorry, dot disabled. So if it's disabled, I'm going to say input. Wait a second, we can just go input dot disabled is equal to not input dot disabled. So now, wow, is that the easiest update function we have ever created in our whole entire lives? Oh god, let's try this out. So I'm going to say milk. It's going to be KLIM, because we're spelling it backwards because we made a mistake. Now if we oh my god, look at that! That is the easiest item we've ever done in our whole entire life. Update function done. Da-da! We also need to clear the input every time we update as well. No, every time we add. So in here we're going to go, after that, once we've created a new one, we're going to say that equal to nothing. Oh. So that will fix it now. So now if we type in milk and we click add, it disappears. So now we can write something new in there again. Milk and eggs. Update. Boom, that is updated. Now we need to add in the remove. And we're going to pass through the list item into this one. So now we're going to do the exact same thing for this, but we're going to go down here, change it to remove button, click this dot remove, and then we need to pass through, as we said, list item. And we're going to go list item dot parent node dot remove child. Is it remove child or destroy child? Remove child, and we'll say list item, I think. So we're going to say remove me. There we go. Yep, that was nailed it. Nailed it. Look at these. The remove and the update function are so simple. But again, that is how you would do it. Simple. So using methods and so for just using methods, classes, arrow functions, and const, let, and others, we have now created a really simple to-do shopping list. So milk. I'm calling it a shopping list because we've already called 2 videos to-do list, and I don't want to call another one to-do list. ES6. Oh, ES6 is the future of JavaScript, and that's straight up facts. So that is our thing done. I'm not going to add any saving features to now when we refresh, because we don't have a database or anything. I could do local storage, but no, it's better to do it through an API, some sort of database, so we can save it into a database. And for now, I don't really want to implement that. I don't have the time to implement that. But maybe that could be another video. If you guys want to see me create the save feature for this, then please let me know. I'll try and do it in ES6 as much as I can. At the minute, the limit of ES6 here is quite simple, and it's quite basic. It's not much ES6 here, but this is pretty much all you need to know for the main ES6 basics. Anyway, and if you want to see more advanced ES6, like promises and all sorts of different things, asynchronous, await, those sort of methods, so you might not know what they are, Google them. They're really useful, especially when you're dealing with APIs, so that would be good to add in our local, not a local storage, our storage or database feature. But I think for now, this actual list it's actually working how I wanted it to work. It's supposed to do what it does. We can now change this to eggs, and down here we'll go bread, because bread, and now we've got a list there. You know, this, in theory, this is functional. You write your list before you leave, as long as you don't close the app. If you converted it through Cordova or something into an app, it'd still work, right? You don't have to bother about refreshing your app. And if you do, then you forgot your list and you just give up and you go home from shopping. That's what I do anyway. And then my partner will kick my butt. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more, smash that like button and hit the subscribe button too. And if you have any comments, feedbacks, or you want to know more, you want to understand a bit better, maybe you want me to go dive deeper into classes with prototypes and all sorts. I think there's so much more you can do with classes and you can do with ES6 from a good point of view, and adding in a database now would be awesome. That might be tomorrow's video. But thank you anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in day 6. Peace out.